Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Let rain fall, let rain
And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Kimber Goodwin here. We're live at the Laurel Park paddock. Another beautiful spring day. Well, a little overcast. Little overcast here today, but that's all right. We're getting some good news about maybe our turf course next weekend, weather permitting. It's a little chilly today. No rain, though. We'll have a fast main track, hopefully. How are you?
I'm doing well, Stan. How are you? We just can't seem to string together two nice spring days. We're back to a little bit of chill in the air, dampness, and always a breeze here in the Laurel paddock.
Always a little breeze here. We'll have a little rain early in the week here for the forecast, but the weather temperatures look nice, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be on the state-of-the-art turf course here next weekend, maybe, weather permitting, here at Laurel Park. Lots to get to today. Before we get to anything, I want to congratulate all of our participants. Well, there's the Hall of Famer. Happy birthday to King T. Leatherberry, 84th birthday, and there he is, the Hall of Famer, with his famed racehorse Ben's Cat, 5-time Maryland-bred horse of the year, and the King, keeping the King young. 84 years young today, Kimber.
I love it, and I see him every day running up the stairs to the second floor of the clubhouse, and he's down here every race that he has a runner, putting the saddle on them, and I could only hope to be as spry and in good a shape as he is at 84 years old.
All right, so happy birthday to the King, and also Ben's Cat. As an 11-year-old, he's making a comeback here. He's had a few works over the Laurel track, and Leatherberry's done that before with older horses. He had Port Conway Lane run till he was 13 years old. Port Conway Lane ran about 250 times, won 52 races, so Ben's Cat still a spring chicken compared to Port Conway Lane.
Remarkable, isn't it? And certainly both King and Ben's Cat are venerable and still in great form.
All right, well, so the King, hopefully we'll see him out here today enjoying Sunday brunch. I want to congratulate all the contestants in yesterday's Champions Handicapping Tournament here at Laurel Park. Thomas Kaman was your first place winner. He's going to go to the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge. His bankroll was a little shy of $2,500 to win it all, $2,496. And then Frederick Cipriano was second with a little over $2,400. Hewitt Andrews, we all know him out here as Action Andy. He was third. He's going to go to the National Handicapping Championship, so congratulations to all the contestants in yesterday's Champions Handicapping Tournament. We had a big crowd here yesterday. The sports bar was packed with that tournament up there.
And the first and second place finishers were separated by only $60. So when it comes down to it at the end of the day, and you end up just about 5% apart or less, that's a tough beat. But congratulations to all the participants and the winners.
All right, so we had a big day yesterday. We have some nice racing here today. 8-race program for you today. They hit the Rainbow Pick 6 yesterday for a little over $8,200. Congratulations to whoever had that. Pick 6 today will start in race 3. Some nice carryover, a little over $1.2 million in the Rainbow Pick 6 carryover down at Gulfstream today. You can play that and all the other tracks via simulcasting here today. We want to tell you again about last Saturday here at Laurel Park. We had the Owners Fantasy Day, and there's 50,000. All the people that came out that are prospective owners, they found out when they were out here last Saturday that there's a $50,000 prize. They were all assigned to a horse they can follow for the rest of the year. They get access to the paddock, to the winner's circle. They can talk to the trainer, and if their horse accumulates the most points, they get the biggest share of $50,000. I think it pays out first, second, and third. Let's take a look here to the fans' reaction when they found out about this last Saturday here at Laurel Park.
A little bit of father-son competition today?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to win because I'm clairvoyant.
Thanks.
That would be even better than anything else. Then I could buy a horse.
It is so awesome. I had no idea that that was coming up, and it's a great idea, and I can get my husband into it maybe.
That was Acacia Courtney getting the reaction from all the fans, and you hear the one guy talking about clairvoyant. That horse won a $50,000 maiden special weight race for Mary Epler last Saturday, so he's right up there atop the leaderboard, and what a great idea, because they're going to get a bunch of new people to follow horses for the rest of the year.
Right, and I think it engages you on a different level where it's not just your horse for the day, but now you're going to keep up with that horse for the next 9 months, and if that doesn't give you the bug, and especially if you win the top prize, I think that would provide you just the nudge you need to get into the game.
All right, so we had a great day out here last Saturday, as we did yesterday. We had 2 handicapping tournaments yesterday, the Champions Handicapping Tournament. It was the final Saturday for the Cure the Winter Blues. Last Saturday, though, Breeders' Cup President Craig Fravel was out here. He had a big day out here at Laurel Park last Saturday. Acacia Courtney caught up with him. Here's what he had to say.
Okay, joined by Craig Fravel, President and CEO of the Breeders' Cup. You've been in town for a couple of days. Tell me a little bit about your overall impressions about the Stronach Group's improvements to Laurel Park.
Well, you know, one thing the Stronach Group does when they commit themselves to a project, they do it first class. And I was here about a year and a half ago, and I had heard what some of the improvements were going to be, and now today I'm getting to see them firsthand, and it really is a spectacular change.
And you met with the governor as well. How did that go?
Well, we went over to the governor's office, and he couldn't be more enthusiastic about the progress they're making here in racing in Maryland. The breeders are doing much better than they were 5 or 10 years ago, and the sport's looking up. And so the governor was obviously quite interested in talking to us about the Breeders' Cup. And if enthusiasm is currency, we'd be here tomorrow. So.
Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita this past year. Do you think the Maryland Jockey Club might be a potential spot for the Breeders' Cup down the road?
Well, you know, obviously the Stronach Group's a great partner of ours, and if they ask us to take a look at one of their properties as a potential venue, we're going to do that. And you know, we don't usually talk about where we might be publicly, but you know, it's nice to be wanted. Let me put it that way.
Tell me a little bit about the goals for the Breeders' Cup throughout the next couple of years.
Well, I think, you know, we've made tremendous progress over the last few years, and we're coming off 2 spectacular events, one at Keeneland and another one last year at Santa Anita. It starts with great racing. You know, the Breeders' Cup Classic was named Longine's best race last year. We're very proud of that, and we think we probably could have had the same result the year before if a few breaks went our way, if Beholder hadn't scratched, for example. But you know, we're very excited about the progress we're making, and our venues and our partnerships with racetracks are much improved, and the enthusiasm on their part for holding the event is great, and we can't wait to get to Del Mar this year.
Greg, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with Del Mar next year.
Thank you, Acacia.
Great to see the Breeders' Cup President Craig Fravel here last Saturday at Laurel Park enjoying the big day. We had 5 stake races last Saturday, and of course the Breeders' Cup giving us some great international racing moments. And Kimber, you remember the Washington D.C. International here at Laurel Park, and the D.C. International actually the first ever international horse race in this country. And then the Breeders' Cup came in the early '80s, and we've had so many great Breeders' Cup memories, and it'd be great to maybe start some Breeders' Cup memories here at Laurel Park.
Oh, it would be extraordinary to have all of those good horses here, and we do have a nice turf course, which I think is a big consideration. And you know, you think about the early intonation of the Breeders' Cup, and you wonder why this wasn't done many, many years ago, and now it's grown into a 2-day event. And evidently, the plans for Arrogate, who was an impressive winner in Dubai yesterday after getting off dead last out of the gate, he might be freshened for a little while this year, with the eventual goal being back to the Breeders' Cup. But it shows you how important that gate crew is. In the post-race interview, Mike Smith said he's used to having someone in the gate with him, and yesterday they didn't, and it went from him going to usually the front to being dead last in the field.
So, but what a horse race that was. That might be one of the best races of the year. Arrogate coming from dead last over there in Dubai. Bob Baffert wins another one over there in Dubai, and that horse has mounted a nice bankroll so far this year.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I'd like to have just a small percentage of that.
All right, so let's tell you what's going on next Saturday here at Laurel Park. We have the expressbet.com Florida Derby down there at Gulfstream, but you can watch and wager on the Florida Derby and all their undercard stakes right here at Laurel Park. Gulfstream will get going at 12 p.m. next Saturday. Big day down there at Gulfstream. Expressbet.com Florida Derby, always one of your major Triple Crown prep races. Also, next Saturday is the Louisiana Derby. You can watch the simulcast from the Louisiana Derby as well. 2 weeks from yesterday is Saturday, April 8th. We'll have the Decanter Wine and Racing Festival out here at Laurel Park. Kimber, this is always a huge event. It brings a lot of people out to enjoy the races.
Yes, it does, and it brings a lot of casual fans and kind of gives them a taste of how fun a day at the races can be. It's always nice to have these events that brings in new interest to racing.
And another big Saturday we have coming up in April is April 22nd. It's a win and you're in for the horses. Winner of the Federico Tessio on Saturday, April 22nd is an automatic win and you're in for the Preakness Stakes. And also winner of the Weber City Miss on April 22nd is gets a guaranteed spot in the Black Eyed Susan. So the horses are covered and we have the fans covered as well. Win and you're in for the fans here Saturday, April 22nd at Laurel Park. You spin the Maryland Jockey Club prize wheel for a chance to win one of 6 pairs of tickets to the Preakness Day or Black Eyed Susan Day at Pimlico. You get a free spin with each racing program purchase and a prize for every spin. This is going to bring the fans out, and what a great contest we have.
And that is a sure thing. And at the racetrack, there's very few sure things that you're guaranteed to win if you participate. But getting a prize with every spin is a nice bonus.
All right, and if you're getting hungry, Sunday brunch up there, getting ready for you. Chef Damon getting it all ready for you in the Garden Terrace. 12 to 4 today, so brunch is underway. $22 for the adults, 11 for kids under 12, under 6, eat free. Unlimited mimosas and Bloody Marys for an additional $12. You hungry yet, Kimber?
I am, and you know, I told some friends about this, and they came out and brought 12 people a few Sundays ago. Many of those, probably 90% of them, had never been to the racetrack in their life. They had a blast. They can't wait to come back. So if you have friends that just like to have bottomless mimosas or brunch, bring them out here one day, and I guarantee you they will have a great time and they'll want to come back. And everyone was very impressed with all the changes here at Laurel. For those that had been here and those that hadn't said, what a nice facility. So it's a great program.
And the food is great. It's a big spread up there for the Sunday brunch buffet, Garden Terrace. You can have it in Tips and Tycoons as well. So brunch is underway. Also tonight, Rosecroft Racing. First race post time tonight down there at Rosecroft in Fort Washington. 440 for their 12-race card tonight. So if you like the harness racing, Rosecroft has it covered for you. Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, harness racing down there at our sister track, Rosecroft, now a Maryland Jockey Club racetrack. Preakness coming up Saturday, May 20th, always the biggest Saturday of the year, the second jewel of the Triple Crown, the People's Race, the People's Party, the third Saturday in May. It's a holiday here in Baltimore. 142nd Preakness Stakes. The day before is the Black Eyed Susan with the Pimlico Special. 2 biggest days of the year in horse racing, Kimber.
That's right, and you are really getting narrowed down if you have a horse that's pointing to the Triple Crown. Very few races left. You talked about the Florida Derby, the Louisiana Derby, the Arkansas Derby, the Wood, the Bluegrass, so you've got to pick your spot, and really you've got one prep race left to get your horse geared up and in good form to run in the Triple Crown this year.
And we have one of those Derby Preakness hopefuls right here at Laurel Park. Ella Reeve trains with Cal Lynch. He's going to run next, maybe in the Wood Memorial. He's going to work next Wednesday, and then again the following week, and then the Connections trainer Cal Lynch will decide. But they're looking towards the Wood Memorial next, and then maybe the Derby. We hope to see the horse in the Preakness. Looks good training here on the track. He's won 2 Triple Crown preps earlier this year, the Jerome and the Withers. He was 3rd in the Gotham, so best of luck to the Connections of Ella Reeve. Trains right here at Laurel Park. They hit the Rainbow Pick 6 for a little over 8,200 yesterday, so no carryover in the pick 6 or the late pick 5, but both the early and late pick 5, your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. The rolling super high 5 carryover today, $570. That'll start in race 3 today. Let's take a look at the weather. It's a little cloudy, overcast right now, a little breezy, but we will have a fast main track, and you see that turf 1 week away for the turf course here at Laurel Park.
I'm going to take issue with that 50s. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's in the 50s right now, as we do have a kind of a damp breeze blowing, but we were supposed to get rain this morning, and so far that's held off. But yes, that turf course is starting to green up. That's what happens when you don't have much of a winter, and we always have some great full fields, so I'm excited to have us get back on the turf.
Some of the top turf racing in the country right here at Laurel Park, so we're getting close to that. Let's get going here in the opener. Race 1 claiming $25,000 for straight 3-year-olds going a flat mile. Race 1 kicks off your early pick 5 with that mandatory payout and low 12% takeout. I have a ticket here for the early pick 5, a nice affordable $36 play here in my early pick 5. I'll go 4 deep there in the opener using the 1, 3, 4, 5. There's my ticket, $36 play, 1, 3, 4, 5 in the opener. I'll key on my best bet of the day, number 2, Enterprising Lady at 5-2. Jevion Toledo aboard for Corey Jensen, 4-year-old daughter of First Dude. She's won her last 2 in a row here at Laurel Park, so she's my best bet of the day at 5-2 in the second race. Number 2, Enterprising Lady, going 2 deep there in race 3, using 3 horses in races 4 and 5. So an affordable $36 play for the early pick 5. You can see my tickets on the laurelpark.com website. Let's take a look here at race 1. We have a video spotlight here of number 5, Hail the General, in his winning effort back on February 17th here at Laurel Park. Here's the win. This was for maiden 16,000. Horse went off 4-5. There was a bunch of claim slips in for this horse. A big shake for Hail the General. Hugh McMahon wins the shake. It's a 3-year-old son of General Quarters. Good-looking win here in the debut. He had a good good-looking win in his second career start. He had a good second in his debut at Penn National, then runs right back for maiden 16,000, 4-5, and wins like a good thing. They were all trying to get him. Hugh McMahon gets him, and Katie Davis now first off the claim. I'm excited to see this horse stretching out to a mile today.
He certainly won with plenty in the tank, and we'll see how he fares on the step-up. It looks like a good move.
All right, your top pick here, the 6, Chief Tarhi. Mary Epler, second off the claim, gets her main rider, Horacio Caramanos, aboard.
And this horse was beaten last time by Parade of Nations, who was my top pick in this race, but then scratched. And Chief Tarhi was a nice claim by Epler, claimed for $16,000, and she stepped him up the next time out into that very tough $50,000 optional claiming. I thought that was a huge move. Greek Prince, who had won 2 in a row, was the winner of that race, but he was beaten only 9 lengths in what I consider a much tougher field. So she settles him back down today to $25,000. And, you know, it's way too close to Tar Heel, that last word, although we do have some Wildcats in later, and, you know, the Wildcats are playing the North Carolina Tar Heels this afternoon, but I picked him anyway.
All right, well, you get Horacio Caramanos, who's having a big meet. I overlooked this horse a little bit, didn't run too well off the claim. That was a tougher race against Allowance Company, dropping back down to open 25 here, and you're getting a nice 5-1 price. So both Kimber and I taking a nice price on top here in the opener. I'm going to throw the 1A, Deal Driven. Scratch to Plain 1, Parade of Nations is scratched. The 1A, Deal Driven, I like here. First off the claim for trainer Phil Schoenthal. Forrest Boyce is aboard. It was a nice maiden win going a mile at Aqueduct last November. Then they gave the horse some time off, came back that late January race here at Laurel Park at the $25,000 level. Maybe needed a race that day and dropped in for 15 on a muddy track. A decent second that day. C.V. Bodemeister was third, would come back to win. Schoenthal now steps the horse back up. First off the claim with Forrest Boyce aboard.
I also used the horse. I liked his entry mate better, as I mentioned before, but he may not have liked the mud a whole lot last time. Both of his races on the off track, neither one have been wins, so that gave him a little bit of an excuse.
And we both like the 4 Honorable Service. Fergal Lynch aboard here for trainer Greg Sacco. This horse has been running up at Aqueduct and Parks, a decent second on the inner dirt at Aqueduct last out against Open 20 Company.
And yeah, that was a nice race from him. At Parks, that optional claimer $50,000 was way over his head, but he was defeated just a nose at Parks in the race before.
All right, nice group of 3-year-olds. Open 25,000 claimers to kick off the early pick 5. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4, and we have 2 pick 4s for you this afternoon, starting in races 2 and 5. I'll have a ticket for that late pick 4 starting in the 5th race. It's a 10% bonus to all you premier players for the late pick 4 4 today here at Laurel Park. So go to guest services to learn more about how you can get that 10% bonus on the late pick 4 today. This is a nice feature of the day here for race 2, an upper level allowance 3 other than optional claiming 32,000, going 5.5 furlongs for filly and mares. You don't see these races go too often. When they do go, it's like a stake race. We have a video spotlight here on my top pick, the 2, Enterprising Lady, in sharp form for trainer Corey Jensen. Well, it was in the Jamie Ness barn. Corey Jensen taking over for Ness here for a little bit. She's won 2 in a row by First Dude. Both those races were going around the ground. Now we're cutting back to 5.5 furlongs, so she's going to need a little bit of a pace setup here. But if we do get a fast early pace, and I think there is enough speed in the race to set it up for the 2, Enterprising Lady, looking for 3 in a row here at Laurel Park with Javion Toledo aboard.
And she pushed the pace a little bit last time out. That was, of course, going a route, and this is the first time she's been 5.5 furlongs in a very long time, since June of 16 at Gulfstream Park. But she is, or I'm sorry, that was 6.5 furlongs. It's been a really long time since she's been 5.5 furlongs, but she did win her only try at that distance, and she's won 4 out of her last 5. Throw out that turf race at Tampa, but I agree she's been in tremendous form. But I ended up giving the slight edge to Rowdy Alley. She came off a short rest from December to February. She was off for a couple of months after winning 3 in a row, and that was a very ambitious placement in her first try in over 60 days. They put her in the Grade 2 Barbara Fritchie. That was just over her head, but I think back in these condition allowance races today, she could go right back to her winning ways, and she is, I guess, your likely pace setter in here.
I respect that one. I'll use her in my top 3. She was in very good form. They got ambitious, tried the Grade 2 Barbara Fritchie. That was a tough race. Now she's been freshened a little bit since then. Strong connections here for Fergal Lynch riding for Kelly Breen. We both like the 5 a little bit here. My Magician in good form for trainer Mike Trombetta. Julian Pimentel has been red hot as of late. And this filly just won a 2 other than, coming from off the pace, now stepping up to the 3 other than today.
A logical step up for this 5-year-old mare, and even though it's a short field, every single horse in this race has a chance.
A nice 3 other than upper level allowance feature of the day here in race 2 to kick off the early pick 4. Let's turn the page. Race 3 starts the Rainbow Pick 6 today. I have a ticket here for the Pick 6, a $43.20 play here for my Rainbow Pick 6 starting in race 3. I'll go 4 deep here in the 3rd using the 1, 2, 4, 5, going 3 deep in races 4 and 5, 2 deep in the 6, 3 deep there in race 7, and I'm going to key on the Larry Jones, heavy favored in the last race. Larry Jones very good with the fillies, and he has another good-looking one here. Stroll in the Park. This horse is a half-sister to a horse that made over $1 million. Just broke her maiden down there at Fairgrounds, gets Trevor McCarthy aboard. I'll go with the 8 as my key horse on the Rainbow Pick 6 ticket in race 8 for Larry Jones. Let's take a look here at the first leg of the Pick 6. A beaten claiming 5,000, going 5.5 furlongs. Race 3 also starts the rolling super high 5. Today's carryover a little shy of $600. I'll go with the 5 on top. Mail order groom, been hanging around at this level, gets Katie Davis aboard today. Katie Davis was aboard last time for trainer Ricky Silliman, came with a 6-wide rally, got up for a good 3rd. 8-year-old Gelding is a 2-time winner here at Laurel Park. We're getting a nice 6-to-1 price. You like the horse as well.
I thought I was being crafty here, and you saw the same thing that I did. I agree for exactly the same reasons as you said. These nickel claiming races are so tough. He's been right there at every asking in this same level. He's run against some tough horses at the $5,000 level that always come back and run well, and I think just a very slight improvement gets him in the winner's circle.
And the one Fairy Cat's going to be one of the favorites. Won at Penn National last time. Was won his last 2 starts at Penn National, but was the beaten favorite at this level here at Laurel Park back in February. I don't like the inside post for the one Fairy Cat, so we're both trying to beat that runner. The 2 I'm going to throw in the mix, Joe Franklin. It's a big drop here for trainer David Jacobson. He wins when he makes this move. He gets Toledo aboard. Joe Franklin, a tough old customer, has made over $200,000. I think with the drop to the nickel today, this could wake him up. And he's been running against Open Company up at Parks and Aqueduct. Finds a beaten nickel spot here today on the drop.
Yeah, I threw the horse out just because I don't ever like those horses on the big drop, and one that is probably going to be a very short price. But another thing to mention about Fairy Cat, he will need a pace to run at, but he's 0 for 13 at Laurel. So another horse that might be a short price that you should use in your exotics, but may not be able to win, and you probably should search for some value in this race.
We both agree on the 4. Top Prospect coming off the layoff for top trainer. Mary Epler gets her main. Jock Horacio Caramanos aboard. This horse coming off a year layoff, was running at Penn National in Woodbine. First start here at Laurel Park, but he's a 9-year-old who's made over $350,000. Been working well enough at Pimlico. First time with trainer Mary Epler. She's about 17%.
And this horse was claimed a long, long time ago for $10,000. We saw this situation a couple of days ago, and not only do I look at the paper and try to figure out, how these horses are going to run against each other, who likes the track, how does the race set up, but I also try to figure out what the trainers are thinking. And we saw it the other day. A horse came off the long layoff, ran for a cheap price, and scared everybody away, and the horse won so easily and no claims. So now they're eligible for that condition, and they got away with it.
All right, so nice beaten nickel here in race 3 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Today's late pick 5 starts in race 4 today. Let's get a quick commercial break. We'll start with the late pick 5 when we come back.
At ExpressBet, we celebrate the champions who make horse racing great. That's why we provide more ways to bet from more places than ever. We've built an entire family of brands to support horse racing, to give players more of the rewards they deserve, give bettors the information they need to win, and provide a community for horse bettors. Because the best way to support the champions of horse racing is to champion horse racing. ExpressBet, we are racing.
Welcome back. Today at the race is presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Kimber Goodwin here. A little chilly Sunday afternoon, but Sunday brunch is cooking up there, and should have some nice live racing here today. A nice carryover in that Rainbow Pick 6 down there at Gulfstream today, so make sure you take a look at that. And also take a look at our late Pick 5 starting in race 4. No carryover today. It paid nice yesterday with no carryover because we have an industry low 12% takeout on the pick 5. Both pick 5s, early and late, are an industry low 12% takeout. So if you like the multi-race wagers, then you have to jump in here on the late pick 5. Starts off in race 4 today, going 6 furlongs, claiming 5,000. Filly and Mare's 4 and up, never won 4 lifetime. I'm going to go with the 7 on the outside. I think she gets another nice trip coming from behind on the outside with Kevin Gomez aboard. She won the nickel 3 life level last out. For trainer Mary Epler steps up to the nickel 4 life today. She's a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. We have a video here of her last win. This is Northern Prancer early March here at Laurel Park. She came with a 5-wide rally, turning for home. She's going to eventually get up to win by a nose over Better Way and the Blues Dancer. This horse is 8 for 14 in the money here at Laurel Park. Kevin Gomez is aboard. Even though the horse is on the left lead, gets up by a nose. Gomez back aboard today. I think he gets a trouble-free trip in the clear, breaking from the 7-hole. I think there's just enough early speed with the 1 and the 2 here to set it up for the 7 Northern Prancer to be coming from out of it, looking for her second win in a row here at Laurel.
And I took a flyer here on the 4 Sally Pollock High, who's 12-1 in the morning line. I think this race is wide open, so in a race that anything can happen, and we saw some big prices come in yesterday, I'm going to give her a chance at a price. She's had a lot of trouble in her last few races. 3 starts back, she was basically eliminated at the start. Took her out of her game. She likes to sit, mid-pack and make a decent run. 2 times ago in this non-winners of 4 lifetime condition, she finished 4th to I Am Superior 2, and I think that race makes her competitive here. Just throw out that last race when she stumbled at the start. So the start is critical for this mare, who seems to be able to find trouble, but she's been in this non-winners of 4 for 3 or 4 or 5 races. Some of these others are coming up directly out of their non-winners of 3, and it's a big step up because non-winners of 4, these horses have been around for a while and have seen each other, and I took a price in here.
And you'll get a decent price. People are going to see that last race and kind of not know what happened. The rider came off at the break, but you get journeyman Brian Pedroza aboard today. You'll get a nice price. That horse might be part of the early pace, perhaps. Let's see, we're all over the place here in this race. We both agree on the 2 a little bit. Picky Bits from the Patricia Farrow barn. Rosado comes down the ride. He was aboard for the win last out. This horse well entered today. Patricia Farrow, they win a lot of races. One for 7,500, 3 life. Last out of Parks, they're jamming right in for the nickel 4 life today. They want to get the win here for Gumpster Stable. Picky Bits should be forwardly placed from the inside. Might get hooked up, though, with the 1 zip line early on.
Yes, this horse is your likely pace setter in here, and if she can get away with decent early fractions, she might be tough to catch.
All right, and I'll throw the 1 in there, zip line, 7-pound apprentice, Jen Miller aboard. Jen Miller's been aboard for the last 2 wins up at Penn National, so she's struck a nice rapport with this 5-year-old mare for trainer Derek Getz. Just might have to have her hand forced a little early here with the speed to the outside. Zip line might have to go a little bit early here from the beginning. So I'll go with the 7 on top, 7 or 2, and you're getting a nice price maybe on top for you.
I would like to point out Avalancha, who was going to be my top pick. Go back 3 starts ago, the last time we saw this filly at Laurel. That was a non-winners of 4 lifetime. She was beaten only 3 lengths to Go, Row, Row, Go. She's been in tougher conditions, non-winners of a race in 6 months or non-winners of 2 in a year. And I think today, going back to this non-winners of 4 lifetime, she is a 6-to-1 morning line, and she might have to be looked at.
All right, nice nickel filly and mare, 6 furlongs to kick off the late pick 4. The late pick, to kick off the late pick 5. Now, the late pick 4 today starts in race 5, and if you're a premier player, you hit the late pick 4, you get a nice 10% bonus. So to learn more about this, go on down to Guest Services, check out the late pick 4 bonus. 10% bonus today on the late pick 4 here at Laurel Park. Starts in race 5. There it is, 10% bonus on the late pick 4 for premier players. Go to Guest Services to learn about this and to sign up. Starts in race 5. I have a ticket, a very affordable $30 play here. I'll go deep here in race 5 to kick off this late pick 4 using 5 runners, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then just using 2 runners in the 6, 3 horses in race 7, and then I'll use the heavy Larry Jones favorite, number 8 in race 8, and also the 5 at a big 12-to-1 price there for Cal Lynch in race 8. So an affordable $30 play for me for the late pick 4 starting here in race 5. Going 7 furlongs, maiden claiming $25,000 for 3-year-olds. And a couple of Wildcats in here for you, Kember. The 3-1 Proud Wildcat's going to be my top pick. Blinkers on today. Trevor McCarthy aboard for Corey Jensen.
I agree with you. Second time off the layoff. Was the beaten favorite last time out, but stays at that $25,000 maiden. This horse switched from turf to dirt last time. Puts blinkers on today, and I think sometimes just that one race over the course is enough to make a horse improve the next time out.
Was a decent third at this level last out, coming off a little refreshing. It was his first time in the Jensen barn, now second time in the barn. You get McCarthy, stays aboard, blinkers on, so lots to like here on the 3-1 Proud Wildcat. We have a 3-5-6 cold try here. Let's go for it, Kember. The 5 Tennessee Wildcat, the other Wildcat in the race. A good second in debut against Maiden 40 Company. Didn't like the track last out maybe on that good sealed track. Now gets a fast track today, dropping down to Maiden 25 with Centron aboard for Hammy Smith.
That was a nice first effort at first asking, and Greek Prince came back to win. And Tennessee Wildcat, obviously well-intentioned, went postward as the lukewarm favorite that day. You know, I don't necessarily understand what a Tennessee Wildcat is. I guess you were born on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky. I'm not sure, but I like all the Wildcat names today.
All right, Wildcat Central here today. So we both like the 3-5-6 there in race 5. Let's turn the page here. A couple nice features coming up here, the later part of the card, so we want to get to them. Race 6 is going to kick off the late pick 3 here, claiming $16,000. Filly Mares never win 3 lifetime, going 7 furlongs. I'll go with the 2 Goldie's Tail on top here for Callie Juarez, Katie Davis aboard. This horse dropping out of tougher races. Those starter allowance, $16,000, tougher conditions here than this straight 16,003 life today. We saw the Mike Juralis horse yesterday.
Orinoco.
Sir Orinoco dropping from the starters in for a tag, got the money, and I think the 2 Goldie's Tail in a good spot here today.
I agree with you. I was about to say we saw the exact same circumstance yesterday, but also look at her race 2 starts ago, and she was beaten only 6 lengths going a mile and a 16th. Include Gold won that, and she came back and won yesterday as the favorite.
All right, so we 2-5 for me, 5-2 for you. Sippy Cup, you get the 7-pound apprentice Carlos Carrasco. He was aboard last out at this level. A good second, stretching out a little bit here today to 7 furlongs.
This is the only horse I think that has a chance to beat Goldie's Tail, who is definitely the one to beat. Sippy Cup beat all of them last time that she's coming back in against today, including Buckleberry, My Adeline, and Flint Hill.
All right, now you have the one in there I don't have. Buckleberry was a sharp winner, 2 back. Might have her hand forced a little early with the speed. 5-pound apprentice Sylvester Gonzalez aboard for Laura Road Cap.
I'm hoping that she and My Adeline don't push each other too much on the front end, and she might have a chance to hang on for a piece of it today.
My Adeline improved, second off the claim last time for Howard Wolfendale. Victor Carrasco stays aboard. I think this horse well spotted to be right there. Maybe the horse is 1 for 1 going 7 furlongs. The race back in early February going 7 furlongs. A nice win that day. So My Adeline getting back to a distance she's won at before. Let's turn the page. Very nice maiden special weight in race 7 to kick off the late daily double. We're going a flat mile here for some well-bred 3-year-old fillies. Scratch to 2. Sister Patricia out of this race. Hammy Smith has 2 first-time starters in here. He's very dangerous with all of his first-time starters. He's 21% with a positive ROI. I'll go with the 6, Paluxy Princess on top, 3-year-old filly by Ghost Sapper out of a Gone West mare. They paid $55,000 for this girl as a yearling at Keeneland. The dam didn't run. However, this girl is a half-sister to 4 Bears who made a little over $70,000. Been working well down there at the Ellery Training Center in South Carolina, where Hammy's brother Gory trains, and some decent works here at Laurel Park. You get Alex Centron aboard. I like the outside post here for the debut.
I think both of his first-time starters are dangerous. I elected to use his other one, Quick Witted, who has some nice works here over the Laurel surface. That work on February 21st, 101 and change handily. Had a bullet back in January. Either one of these horses is a danger, and I did something I really probably have no chance to win with. I picked Todd Pletcher's horse. I can't win with him. If I bet him, he can't win. If I bet against him, he beats me every time. So this horse shipping in from Aqueduct out of a second-place finish, had the lead in deep stretch and got caught back in January, and ships down here today. First time Pletcher's run a horse here at this meet.
You get Trevor McCarthy aboard. I respect the barn and the jockey. I'll use the 5, Lights of Medina, second in my exacta. I like the other Hammy Smith filly as well. She's by a fleet, Alex. The mare, Humoristic. Hammy Smith trained the mare. She was a graded stakes winner going long on the turf. She made over $500,000. She's been a solid producer as well. This filly's a half-sister to Easy Crossing, who made over $200,000. Also a half to My Enigma, made over $135,000. So a very nice family here on the dam side for the 4, Quick Witted. You mentioned the nice works, Julian Pimentel's red hot. So I'm using both these Hammy Smith first-timers in my top 3.
Speaking of nice works, check out the works on the 3, Head for the Shore, who's a nice price in the morning line. 3 straight bullets, and then a 101 and change in the mud right here at Laurel for her prep work on March the 19th. She hasn't been out since January of this year when she ran 4th in the mud, but if she runs to those works, she will be a factor.
I'll throw the 7 Lady Keswick into the mix here for trainer Dale Capuano. Horse has been running down at Gulfstream. Had a good second-in debut here at Laurel Park in a tough maiden special weight race won by Aiden's Ragdoll. Came from off the pace that day at 15-1. Got up for second, just beating the neck. They were high on the filly. She's by flatter, well-bred out of a Medaglia d'Oro mare. They took her down to Gulfstream. A good third in the slop in that first race down there at Gulfstream. Then she kind of fell apart a little bit back in January. They've given her some time and freshened her since then. She's back up here at Laurel Park. A nice 3/4 work back on March 18th here at Laurel Park. You get Toledo aboard. Flatter filly stretching out to a mile here with Toledo aboard. We both like the 7 a little bit here.
And this is a wide-open affair, and those first-time starters are the unknown quantity. Looking forward to taking a look at the horses when they get to the paddock.
Yeah, nice group of 3-year-old fillies here in race 7 to kick off the late daily double. Another nice feature of the day here, race 8, straight 3-year-old fillies, A other than allowance condition, optional claiming $50,000, going 5.5 furlongs. We have a video spotlight here of my second pick, the 5, Thirst for Truth, 12-1 for trainer Cal Lynch. Here's the maiden win back on February 18th here at Laurel Park. Didn't break very well, had to come 5 wide, is going to get up with Trevor McCarthy aboard at 5-1. This is against maiden 40 claimers. The filly had run decently before breaking the maiden and puts it all together here to break the maiden. A gutsy win to win by a half length here by Stay Thirsty. They paid $75,000 for her down at the OBS sale. Facing, it's a big step up here from the maiden 40 to a first level allowance today, but she trains well here at Laurel Park. A nice work, a nice couple works here. Nice 3 works since that maiden win. Alex Centron gets aboard today. I'll use her in my exact at a big 12-to-1 price, but looks like we're both going with the Larry Jones filly on top.
You know, I'm firmly on the Larry Jones bandwagon. He places his horses well. They're always fit. They're always ready to run. He's a perfect 2 for 2 here. He had a horse that won a stakes race on the big racing weekend we had here 2 weekends ago, or was that last weekend or two weekends ago? Last weekend. This horse has been the favorite 2 times in a row, and you know, until Larry Jones proves otherwise, I'm staying with him.
Yeah, the well-bred here by Divine Park. This is a homebred for Dream Chaser Thoroughbred. Zadam, she made over $160,000. This filly's a half-sister to Hard Aces, who made over $1 million. So a very nice family here. You get the leading rider, Trevor McCarthy, aboard for Larry Jones, who does very well with the fillies. This filly will get bet a lot. 9-5 morning line, your deserved morning line favorite. So we're both going with that one on top. I used a 5 in my exacta. We both like the 7 here as well. Haley flipped. This was a nice filly here last summer. That was a nice maiden win against maiden 40. Then they stepped her up to Allowance Company at Delaware. She got the money that day, a good second and a stake at Delaware last September. She's had some time off and been freshened since then. They took her down to Gulfstream for the winter. She was working down there for Gary Capuano. Maybe the race didn't go or something. Now she's back up here with Javion Toledo aboard, but they were kind of high on this filly last summer.
And she's one of only 3 horses in this race that have actually been to the winner's circle twice. Everybody else still either just broke their maiden or eligible for non-winners of 2. She's already won 2 out of her 4 races with that nice second, and I expect her to run well off that layoff.
And we both like the 2 a little bit here. She's stunning from the Bruce Brown barn. She's won 2 of her last 3, including a starter allowance at Parks last out. Her first start here today at Laurel Park, and she gets Horacio Caramanos aboard.
It's an interesting race here for the finale, and you know, after the Larry Jones filly, if you think he's placed her well, I think it's wide open behind her.
All right, that's it. We're out of time here. Hopefully the sun will come out and warm up a little bit today. Sunday brunch is up there cooking in the garden terrace, so if you're hungry, go to Sunday brunch. Best of luck here today. Dave Rodman's coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes. Good luck.